fur turns brown. During the first month, Atticus got into everything. Those pretty lace curtains on the windows, Atticus scaled them like ladders. He shredded them to bits. He pulled the shades down to watch them snap back up again. So Candice took the curtains and shades down from all the windows. That didn't bother Atticus. He simply made up new games. He sat on tables and smacked books or drinking glasses onto the floor. Books made the best noises, but glasses made the biggest messes. Pens, rings, and keys were whacked under furniture. Candice and Frank had hoped a kitten would liven up their quiet house, but maybe Atticus was too lively. Frank went off to work every day, but Candice worked at home. At least, she tried to. Keeping up with Atticus became her new full-time job. He still ran everywhere. He was on the go 24/7. Black cats. Black cats are thought to be lucky or unlucky, depending on where and when you live. In ancient Egypt, people kept them to gain favor with Bastet. She was the cat goddess. But during the Middle Ages in Europe, black cats were linked to witches. You may have heard that it's unlucky for a black cat to cross your path. In some parts of England, it's lucky to own a black cat, but unlucky to meet one. Also, if a black cat walks toward you, you'll have good luck. But if it walks away from you, it takes away your good luck. Kittens are supposed to get tired easily and take lots of naps. Not Atticus. He never seemed to sleep. He had boundless energy. Sometimes, Atticus disappeared. The first time he vanished, Candice worried he had slipped outside when she got the mail. "Atticus!" she called. No cat. She checked behind chairs and in corners. Then she peeked under the bed. Behind a box of shoes was a furry black shape. The cat was taking a hidden nap. So he did sleep, after all. Stealing food, ripping curtains, and constantly running was typical kitten behavior. He would settle down as he got older, Candice knew. But Atticus had another issue, and this one was a real problem. He was a biter. Like all kittens, Atticus loved to play. He played with toys. He played with Frank's and Candice's feet, too. Sometimes he scratched Candice on the ankle or bit Frank's hand. That was understandable. He would learn not to play so rough. But Atticus bit when he wasn't playing. He seemed to attack them on purpose. His teeth broke their skin and left bruises. Each day, they added new bandages to their collection of bites. Atticus's biting was a serious problem. Candice worried that a child might come visit. What if Atticus tried to attack? And that is just what happened. Chapter 2. Attack Cat. One December day, the doorbell rang. Atticus was sitting on a windowsill. He had never heard a doorbell before. He raced into Candice's home office. His eyes were wide with alarm. "It's just the doorbell," she told him. "It means we have company. Be on your best behavior, okay?" Atticus ran down the steps to the door so fast his little legs were a blur. Atticus's nose was pressed against the door as Candice tried to open it. Candice and Frank's neighbors stood on the porch. It was Michelle White and her 3 children, Gavin, Sydney, and Marin. Sydney held a fuzzy green mouse. "We're here to see the new kitty," Michelle told Candice. "We brought him a present." Since bringing Atticus home, Candice and Frank had only had a few guests. Candice wondered how Atticus would react to the children who were so excited to meet him. Gavin and Sydney got down on the floor to be closer to him. He sniffed their hands and feet. Then Gavin started to run down the hall. He wanted Atticus to play. This was a game Atticus knew. He raced after the boy. Meanwhile, Sydney ran in the other direction. Atticus was delighted to have 2 people to chase. He slid around the corner, his hind claws scrabbling before he hit the wall. Everyone laughed. Gavin tossed the green mouse. Atticus pounced on it and kicked it with his back feet. "He's so cute," said Sydney. Candice crossed her fingers. A fun game often turned rough with Atticus. She didn't quite trust him yet, especially around children. Marin, who was only 5, stood beside her mother. She squealed when Atticus leaped up in the air with the fuzzy mouse. Atticus stopped and stared at Marin. He trotted closer. Marin wanted to pet the soft kitten, but Candice knew that look in her kitty's eyes. When his pupils grew big, that meant watch out. Marin sensed danger, too. She ducked behind her mother's legs. Candice scooped up Atticus. "No," she scolded him. "No biting." She explained to their neighbor that Atticus had a problem with biting. "I don't want him to hurt anyone," she said. Cat Goddess. The ancient Egyptians believed cats were sacred animals. Only pharaohs or rulers were allowed to own them. The Egyptians worshipped the